This is serious. I'm your host, Steve Van Meter, and thanks for joining me today. And what's going on in the global oil markets right now has the potential to destroy the American way of life. Now, as the global reserve currency, the US dollar is used in trade all throughout the world. And what a lot of people don't understand is the number one export of the US is dollars. And when you're the global reserve currency, your role in the world is to make sure there's enough of your currency for everyone else to conduct trade with it. And so in the case of the dollar and the United States, our role is to make sure we export enough dollars to the rest of the world. And in turn, they take our dollars, they conduct trade, they buy our debt. And what this means from a monetary perspective, now, I know several of you will disagree with me when I say this, is we need to run persistent and ongoing deficits. Now, I'll quantify that in a moment, but the notion is we need to run deficits to make sure there's a constant supply of dollars being generated through the debt mechanism to supply the rest of the world. Now, what we can argue about and perhaps agree about is what we use that debt for makes all the difference. But if something were to come along and disrupt this flow of dollars, or stop the notion that people want to use the dollar's trade, well, it has the potential to destroy the American way of life for one very simple reason. It's because foreigners buy a large percentage of our debt. And if they stop using our currency and stop having demand for our debt, well, that means the US government would have to go from running these deficits to surpluses, and our debt would have to be bought by American citizens. And so what this potentially now puts us in play for when we start looking at what's going on in the global oil markets, particularly what China's up to and what Russia's up to, when I don't want to suggest that the current administration or any administration in history is rooting for a recession, but what I want to suggest to you is we may need a global recession, because if we have something different, such as a global expansion, well, the cards are already being played to usurp the dollar as a global reserve currency and bring America down. Now let's head over to